What?
Our
right.
sound was off. Okay, now we're on.
Okay.
Okay, so if you saw Joe being very animated, because he was. We're talking about boil water advisory from last week, right?
We should do the intro.
Yeah, well, let's just start. If you guys are all okay, we're going to do the intro so we get a full 30 minutes for Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Absolutely. Hello, and welcome
great,
to the Mayor's Update.
Yeah, that was really slick.
Really good.
Right. Anyway, we wanted to start off talking about an incident that happened last week, a boil water advisory here in St. Thomas, and these things occur occasionally. We test the water supply in St. Thomas at the base source and at different spots throughout town all the time. And when we get a test that's non-conclusive, doesn't mean it's negative, it just means it didn't pass that one test, then a certain protocol clicks into place. And so what we did in that case, and what we would have to do in every time, is we turn it over to the health unit. Mm-hmm. They tell us, yes, we're going to declare a boil water advisory for that water system. In this case, about 250 people, not 250 houses. Mm-hmm. And so we start the protocol, and that means it gets tested again in 24 hours, then tested again in 24 hours thereafter. Once there's 2 clean tests, then the boil water advisory is dropped.
Okay.
If a test comes back not clean, then of course we go through a different protocol of what we have to do then to the system. We're pretty sure in almost all the cases it's a test problem, not a water problem.
Right.
And so this is what it did turn out to be last week. But the minute we have one, our staff, door to door, knocking on doors, handing out, you're in a boil water advisory, here's what you need to do. And please follow these rules. When the water is declared safe after the 2 tests, then there's another protocol. You have to flush systems and do other things. But it's all really handled in an old-fashioned way of door to door. If it was a bigger system, we might get the emergency trucks out to help us with it. But this was a small enough period of time in a small enough area of our city to be able to do it face to face. Also, if we did get to the point where it goes beyond a boil water advisory to a further step, there is something needs to be done, then we'd be heavily involved in how we're supplying water to shut-ins and other people in that area.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, and it worked. It all worked. Everybody got notice. Everybody knew what was going on. We are very worried. And one of the other topics from council last night was, how do we do communication in a communication world where there isn't newspapers, where there's no one source of news for all of it except for Mayor's Update. And we didn't have Mayor's Update again until tonight. So we really couldn't tell all you great folks, what's going on. Right? Yeah. So that's the boil water advisory piece. And we're going to talk a lot more about how we're going to share great things that are being done by City Hall and by Council in a communication pattern. We know we now are using the Beehive to talk about where we're going in different areas of town. We know that the animal shelter is also doing an online kind of vlog. Yes. And we think this is a great way for us to share the great news that's happening in St. Thomas. So we'll continue to do that.
And if any of you are not following the city's Facebook page, you should be, because all of that information goes out over their Facebook page.
Every half hour, there's something out. There's another notice out. And we try to share them. I know you share, I share, and many others do. But there still is a lot of people that don't know what's going on in their own community. Yeah. And, Steve Peters talked about it last night at council. We no longer have a newspaper. And that used to be, if you published a public notice in a newspaper, that met the legal requirement. Yep. Well, I think I know both people who read the local newspaper now. So, sorry about the joke, but it's becoming less and less people getting the newspaper. Even the newspapers I read now, I get electronically. They come on and I can scroll through pages. It's just like it. But,
there used to be a free Wednesday paper, I think it was, where like everybody got the Wednesday paper.
Right. And then because it had the ads in it and the grocery ads with it and that type of thing. Not there anymore. We don't do it that way anymore. So we've got to find, and of course we have a radio station, but not everybody listens to that radio station either. Yeah. The news piece on it has been great, and they do a great job of Facebook and other advertising too. And but hey, we've got to find a way so that if something critical happened in our community without the Grayden and Joe having to wander street after street yelling what's going on, we'll find another way. So thank you for your help. Look, we also have had a really busy last couple of weeks on Mayor's Update. It's been incredible, and we haven't got all the answers or all the questions. So if you have some tonight, please get them in so we can start right into them, right?
Adam Montgomery says he hears Wendy's hands out a little newspaper in the bag.
Well, we do, and we're one of the other places in town that if you've got a piece of information you need to get to people that isn't in conflict with our business, but we've had even local fencing guys or mechanics want to hand out their flyers at Wendy's. Well, that's 7,000 to 10,000 people a week.
I've done it,
learning about somebody. So
for Laing Studios.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
Well, and everybody who's ever done it has always said, I got more business than I knew what to do with. And people didn't know I existed, and I thought I was really popular.
Well, those junior bacon cheeseburgers.
Well, people have to go there, and so that's what happens.
Yeah, double. I had the double the other day.
Right.
So good. All right. We want to talk about some other really great stuff that's happening.
Look, and we've done some stuff over the last couple of weeks we didn't get a chance to talk about, but you and I have talked about things on Facebook or on other social medias, but certainly the groundbreaking for the Highview Hideaway,
it's incredible,
Eastwood housing development on Highview and Wellington, that area, was just last week, and we had a great crowd out. This is going to be an 80 plus unit of affordable housing.
How does the affordable housing work? Because you have a really unique model that you're working on for that.
Well, let's use it. This one is easy. It's less than 75% of what that one bedroom apartment would be in an average one bedroom apartment in our community. So it has to be 75% or less to be an affordable one bedroom apartment. So
of the market rent.
Of market rent. Now there will be in that in what Eastwood does, they have market rent apartments, and they have even more deeply discounted apartments that work out from a cooperative system to be the right amount to carry the load of building the buildings and housing people. So 85 more units in our city is just great. The city jumped in immediately and said, we'll offer $3 million towards this. Doug Terry jumped in immediately and said, I'll help build it. Our teams will help build it. Yeah. Well, and we're doing a lot with Tiny Hope with Doug Terry and that group. We'll continue to do that.
And there's more information on that on the Beehive that's coming out tomorrow, Wednesday.
So we won't spoil it. We'll make them watch the Beehive, right?
Yes. Yeah. And if you're not checking that out, please do check it out. It's on the Economic Development's Facebook page with St. Thomas Proud, which they post on there, and their YouTube channel.
And once you go check it out once, sign up for it so that it comes to you automatically. And that's what we're really finding. The same thing with the construction updates in St. Thomas. You know, the construction update for the Keynes Ave project or the Highbury Ave project and now the South Edgeware projects are all, every week we get a great detail from our construction people as to what's happening in the next week, when lanes will change and what will happen. Geez, sign up. I mean, what's the worst? You hit delete in your email that, oh no, I know about that. I don't have to look it up this week. Fine. But please, it really is a helpful way to get great information. We've got lots of stuff going on. Let's see. This Saturday, though, between 10 and 1, and if you ever wanted to go to jail, this is your chance. No, it's an open house at the police
You'll get out of jail free.
Yeah. You'll get to walk in and out and meet all the great people on St. Thomas Police Services, including a new dog that started today, too. Right?
Very exciting.
Yeah. So that's September 14th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Go lock yourself up in the cell or get a picture of yourself in the cell, and all the other great stuff that happens at our police services. It is a wonderful place to visit with your hands in front of you. No.
Now, there was a question, is Axel still around?
Look, Axel's still a pet. He's retired now, I think, and I think that's the case. I think good service dogs, good police service dogs last a shorter period of time, and so we keep bringing in a new. Axel may still be. Anyway, well, let's ask that question when you come Saturday.
There you go.
Right, it's perfect.
Yeah.
What else we got? We've got other things we've already talked about.
Elgin County Studio Tour.
Yes.
It's also all details right there.
Yes, there it is.
That lower third.
Right.
So check that out.
Right. Well, this Sunday, the Terry Fox run is this Sunday at Pinafore Park, starting at 8:30 in the morning. You can run, walk, bike, roll, skateboard. You can do whatever you want to raise funds for Terry Fox and for to eliminate cancer in our lifetime. Yes. So that's Sunday morning early. I know I'm there very early. Right?
I'll be there very early.
And then where are we off to?
Kirkin of the Tartan.
Yes.
The Kirkin of the Tartan, Joe.
Yeah, we got to go to Kirk.
We got to go on.
I will be wearing no plaid
good.
because I want to stand out.
Oh, it's just an amazing event. It starts around Legends.
Yes,
they all gather
right
around
and
9.
then we march to the church,
the Knox Presbyterian Church,
right? In all of our glory, with all of the shields and swords and
the banners waving
and the pipes a playing.
Yeah,
right?
they've got the pipe in.
Right?
Oh, it's so good.
So that's that parade starts off about 10 o'clock on the way over to church. And then 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there's a War of 1812 cemetery thing at the old church.
Oh, what's happening with that?
Well, it's a I won't say a reenactment, but there's people buried in the old cemetery from the War of 1812. So it's an honoring of them on the 200th anniversary of the old church there too. So I'll put my suit on early in the morning. I'm not running at the Terry Fox run, and then head to the Kirkin of the Tartan, and then over to the old church later. So
what
Sundays. I'm sorry, Pastor Jeremy, I will not be attending Faith on Sunday. I have other churches I must visit.
The multi-church day.
Oh, yes. And what have we got? Also, Childhood Cancer Awareness. The flag raising is next week, but September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. With this week so far, Monday at 9:09, we did the ringing of the bells for fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. With Ethel de la Pelletier. It's the 20th year of it, and I'm certain I was there for almost all of them. And then immediately following that, 10 o'clock, we did the proclamation for Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's been a busy week for proclamations, and I thank Rose Gibson and Gary Clark and some of my other counselors for filling in for me. Then today was Welcome Week.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, and welcoming new immigrants to our community and recognizing that and raising their flag at City Hall. So lots going on around here, folks, and we want to tell people about all the new things. I know you also got to play in the Kohler Golf Tournament on Saturday. I
did.
I've been home nursing Bad Puppy and Stephanie, and I keep reading my social media. Oh, gee, that would have been fun to go do.
It was, Joe, it was incredible. It was just seeing the whole community come together to raise money for Elgin Hospice, and Councillor Kohler, who was a part of that, and his wife, Jennifer, their whole family was there working the course.
Oh, sure. I heard Iris was put in charge of handing out Wendy's free hamburgers.
Hey, there were a lot.
She was being favorite.
Hey,
if she liked you, you got 2.
I got one in the draw. It was amazing.
Oh,
so I got 25. Oh, yeah. Talk about this for 1 minute. I've got something.
Okay, we have the Oktoberfest coming up on the weekend of 21st, September 21st. It is on the Saturday, September 21st, downtown St. Thomas. We've got special guests from Germany. We've got pretzels. We've got sausage. Wow. We've got probably beer. Because it's Oktoberfest.
There's a little bit of beer.
We will be doing the tapping of the keg, which is a real ceremony in Oktoberfest. The Burgermeisters get to do that. We have a mayor from Germany and myself. We're going to have some fun doing that together too. Just a lot of fun as we really start to become, what do we say, the second best Oktoberfest in Canada?
Yes, the second best.
Yeah. We're not going to put too much pressure on ourselves.
Well, you want to have fun, right?
Right. Yeah.
Too much pressure is not very fun.
So that's coming up in 2 weeks' time.
Very exciting. Now, speaking of those old the PowerCo site,
yes,
there were some people, and they found in one of the houses this.
Oh, an old Joe Preston card. That's when the free hamburger used to be on the back of my business card.
Yeah.
Did I have a title in those days? Or was that just after I became the owner here?
A complimentary Big Classic. Do you still have the Big Classic?
Oh, no, that's now morphed into the Baconator on one end and the Dave's Deluxe on the other. So it's,
Yeah. But unfortunately, it expired back in 1996.
September 10th, 1996. Yes, I was only 12. No. Well, that's great. Hey, somebody's hung on to it.
Yeah.
But it has my phone number's on it and stuff still too. So.
Everything. Right? I love it.
Perfect.
It's,
what questions do you have about our city? We've got a lot going on right now.
We've got so many things. And if you didn't
participate great guests last couple of weeks. So,
last week's episode, all about ECRM and the Railroad Coalition. Just fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Adam Montgomery is referencing our talk about the police open house. He said it might be a good way to get out of work. Take a pick-me in the cell. I couldn't come in. I was behind bars.
Yeah. Gee, boss, can't make it in today. Yeah.
He's clarifying. He's kidding. He's kidding.
That's no worries.
And there is a lot going on.
Yeah.
So much. Anne Montgomery is saying, didn't you take over in like 92 or 93? And
that Wendy's, December 3rd, 1990.
And that Sharon Montgomery Anderson.
Yeah.
1990. She's like the champion of our trivia.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a question in from Janet Walker Robertson.
Right.
She's saying, okay, what about shopping carts full of stuff that have been stolen from the 330 block in St. Thomas? It ends up at the inn or at the Grace Cafe. My car was entered on the same night as another break and enter in our parking lot. The shopping cart was loaded and fishing stuff was looked at. The person and his shopping cart was through here again. Do they ever check the inn? It was going right through our parking lot. Do the police patrol the inn or the Grace Cafe? And all of these people experiencing homelessness, I see them daily going through our dumpster. Come on.
Right. Well, I'm first of all not going to say that anybody who's homeless is a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
That is not true. That's somebody facing some hardship in our community, and we continue to work hard on creating real homes for real people. But I'm not going to suggest that there isn't crime in our community, which is why we've put the special constables downtown in a designated area to look at what we can do there. But I take some offense to the, hey, did you check Grace Cafe and the inn for criminal activity, right? Just because someone is on hard times does not mean that they're breaking into your car. Are there not criminals out there? Absolutely there is, and our police services is doing a great job. However, when I read the reports of us arresting the people who broke into a car or did some other damage, they were released by the courts that same day. Right? And we're looking for a better activity, a better way to keep crime. We're finding there's a small group of people who are involved in a vast majority of crimes, but are simply released by the courts.
Right.
And we need to continue to work. Our police services do a great job of investigating the crimes that are occurring in our community and catching the people who are doing it. Please help us put pressure on your provincial and federal members of parliament to make sure that there is some punitive action to people who are not following society's rules.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, so the answer is bigger than the smaller activities that are happening. And you're right, yes. It has to go through the courts and it has to go through would it be the federal government that would be in charge or provincial?
There are laws under the province and the feds, depending on what the crime is. And we're not suggesting at all we're crime-free in St. Thomas. We believe it's considerably better than it was 2 or 3 years ago since we put the special constables onto the streets. And I'm not blaming the victims either. Look, if somebody breaks into your car, that's violating you. And we would like them to pay some price for that, to make it so that next time they think twice about doing it. But if they continue to get away with there being no punitive action once they are caught doing a crime, then I expect that would make someone want to go do it again. There's no punishment. So we'll need to keep conversing with our police services and Chief Roskamp as to what we could do next. And we continue to post here's another thing on social media, the outcomes of the court system each week.
Right.
And read it. Plus, it's there. This person was found doing this, and this, and released by the courts. And I go, I scream at the computer. What?
Yeah.
What do you have to do to be punished anymore? We have people who violate their own conditions of release 5 or 6 times, and yet there's no added punishment for having done it. So I'm going to stop on that one because I will rant on that one a little bit. But we will do it. And I know you and I have been working on a system for the downtown.
Yes.
We've got some damage being done to some of the businesses downtown occasionally because that's the busiest part of town. We're trying to come up with a damage control system that would help people with repairing windows if a window got broken or help repairing a door if a door got broken, those types of things. And I think if you stay tuned to Mayor's Update over the next couple of weeks, I've got some neat thoughts as to how we can get there.
I love it. And it's exciting work. So there are things that are being done to help people that are facing the financial burden of these
of damages being done by people
damage,
who are that's what it is, theft or damage. And sometimes the theft is so that they can help pay for drugs. Sometimes the damage is because of a mental illness piece. And I understand both of those and clearly understand them, but it's not not helpful to our business people to understand it. It's helpful to our business people to be able to not have those costs
and have some help.
Yep.
Yeah. And so we're working on it.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think that's the thing, is that there's so many things that are happening, that are in the works, that are going to be.
Yeah. Well, so, we continue to work on, we promised that we would do more supportive housing in 2024. We'll be able to make that announcement shortly. I think we've got some more people coming off homelessness permanency and into housing permanency, and we'll do that.
There were some great reports, I believe, that came out of the Inn in terms of that, in terms of the number of people that have followed that path out of homelessness to getting into an apartment with the supports they need, which is very exciting.
Well, if you don't have emergency shelter, and I don't mean just the Inn, but that's our biggest emergency shelter in town, is with services on site, medical, mental health, addictions, food security, employment security, all happening out of that place. Some 65 people so far this year have been placed either into permanent housing, returned to their own homes with family, or return to their own communities out of the Inn. Well, that's a pretty big number, 65 people who were homeless in one day and since then are not. So we'll continue to do it. I continue to talk with mayors and other communities across Ontario about what St. Thomas is doing right and how we can also help share those ideas with them.
Totally. And perspective, like what's our by names list? So there's a by names list, which is...
You want a number?
No, like what is the by names list? I keep telling people what the by names list is.
We track. If someone we do an inventory, a census, if you will, of all people who are homeless, that have no house, no place to go. Some, of course, are at the YWCA in women's sheltering. Some are at through our youth protocol and youth homelessness. Others are through the CMHA. The Canadian Mental Health Association also houses a number of its clients from a mental health point of view, and we have our emergency shelter called the Inn, and those are the most of the housing for everyone in town. And we have a place on any given night. We've got a place for everybody. Is an emergency shelter a great place to live? No. It is not. We want to go to permanent housing. That's why we're working with Indwell on supportive housing. So we'll continue to do that. We're one of the leading communities in Canada on being able to do that.
And by having a by names list, what you can do is you can account for the people that you know need to be housed, and you can help them.
Right. And through a level of acuity. And so whenever we finished Queen Street last year, the Queen Street supportive housing, or the Rail City Lost supportive housing, or as we finish Tiny Hope, or even as Eastwood finishes what it's working on, we can put the people who need the most help in the right place and continue to go that way. On top of which, look, St. Thomas has about 1,000 units throughout St. Thomas and Elgin County of housing support. This isn't supportive housing, but it's a housing support where it's lower rent or geared to income, or simply a fund to help you pay lower rent in the apartment you're already in. Because we believe if you're not homeless now, we'd like to prevent that from happening, because it's a lot more expensive for us to house homeless than it is to. So we'll continue to work hard on that. Fantastic. Under Daniel Nielsen and the social services, it is just incredible what we have been able to accomplish in St. Thomas. We'll continue to do so until the day we built to zero, which is our goal, and of course every municipality's goal to get there. But we see it now on the horizon. We know we can see zero homelessness in our community at some point in the next few years.
The very near future.
Yep.
And I don't think a lot of communities can say that.
Yep, I agree.
It's a shout out to the teams. Well, absolutely.
It's a great council, all pulling the oars in the same direction and making it work. Yes.
Yeah. And a shout out to Grace Cafe from Beth Douglas. Yep. It's not just for homeless. It's a lonely seniors, and seniors who are struggling with the grocery budget are also welcome at the Grace Cafe. No one gets turned away. Thank you to all those who work and volunteer to this great service in our community.
Oh, great. And it is just that. Look, there's many people who are housed but through loneliness or time on their own or food insecurity issues, use places like the Grace Cafe, or even come and eat at the Inn. Yeah. And with the Salvation Army and the other community meals that there is. All of these are collective community steps to making our community a better place. And Grace Cafe has been around for a long time doing exactly that, offering a loneliness solution and a food solution in the same place.
No questions asked. It's just
come on in.
so
You can
incredible.
always get cake.
Yeah.
I have to avoid the place.
Cake and coffee.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So we're nearing the end of our time for our Rogers segment.
Wow. Again, that was too fast.
Do we have a couple? We'll touch on a couple points from council.
Yep.
We'll pause and then we'll carry on.
Well, I guess one of the biggest things this week is we're talking about a communication and engagement strategy out of the city. Yep. We know that we're doing a lot of great things, and we know a lot of you who will follow us on Mayor's Update know some of the great things we're doing. But we want to come up with a strategy that is driven by the city also to tell you what it is we're doing, whether it's road construction, new water, new sewers, or housing. I mean, all of these things, we want to brag on ourselves a little bit more, but we sure want to share it. There's a lot of new people in St. Thomas do not know where to get St. Thomas news. So we're talking about a communication strategy for that. We talked about the Federal Housing Accelerator Fund, and the second round of funding is coming up, but we had to get an application in by Friday in order to be there. We voted last night to do so. We asked, the Inn has been doing some really great extra work in housing more and doing more, and has asked us for some funding for now till the end of the year to help get them through that. We're one of the few communities that don't fund their emergency shelter in the same way as other communities. This is a board of directors, a private charitable board of directors that runs the Inn. We are the landlord of the building, but we also now are going to contribute some funds to running the Inn in a better and more efficient way. So that's another piece that came up. And that's truly, other than more recognitions like Legion Week coming up, Welcoming Week happened today, Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in September, and Toastmasters Month in October, where we've recognized all of those last night, passed the proclamations on so that we'll do flag raisings for all of those things. So fairly busy council meeting again last night.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yes, I can tell.
Yeah. And if you're not paying attention to the Downtown Development Board, follow their Facebook page as well.
Yes.
Because like we were talking about, the Oktoberfest event is coming up. Then there's the Pumpkin Prowl.
Yeah, fairly shortly after, right?
Yeah. And then we've got Light Up Talbot, which is, again, it's going to be the second year for that. It's going to be absolutely fantastic.
The night of our tree lighting, and then other areas of Talbot Street get lit up as the darkness comes.
Yep.
And Santa leaves the tree lighting, and we have some fun downtown.
Absolutely.
Some snacks and some other warming stations going on.
And we've got Bridges to Better Business coming up. I think it's the September 26th, and Stephen Page from the Bare Naked Ladies will actually be performing.
Yes, so great music, and I'm sorry, I'll take the food side again. Many local businesses showing off their wares, and it's a great night to come see what local businesses can do in the way of food, in the way of what they do in our community. And some of them are even recognized that night on Bridges to Better Business. So
wonderful award ceremony.
If you don't have your tickets for that, and I'm hoping I'm not saying something that's not available.
I think there's only a couple left. But
so get at it. All right,
get those tickets.
Call our SBEC, Small Business Enterprise Center. They put this on, and with a number of corporate sponsors making this work.
Absolutely. Adam Montgomery saying, Grayden can't wait for the Pumpkin Prowl. I saw it on his face. You're right. I love the Pumpkin Prowl. Last year, I got a shot of all the kids just on the streets. It was just, again.
I can't wait either. It was such a fun thing last year.
Absolutely
almost
fantastic.
Every business in the downtown participated, which gave kids a safe Halloween, a safe place to go, and a very compact. Right. Yeah. Many of our neighborhoods are very sprawling now, and not every house participates. So it's a long walk. Yeah. You get the kids out on the Saturday night before Halloween, come on downtown, do Pumpkin Prowl with us. And I won't say there wasn't maybe a beverage or two afterwards at a couple of our local craft breweries.
Absolutely. Yeah. Butterbeer is a great one. And we also have some other different groups that are asking to participate in the Prowl. So we're bringing them downtown as well, which is just fantastic.
Great. Excellent.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up this segment here, and then we'll continue on after. So
don't go anywhere, because we're going to answer some more of your questions, if you have any, for the short period of time after we've logged off to send off a half an hour of Mayor's Update to Rogers.
But we'll say bye to our Rogers crew. Thanks for watching. Yeah. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
All right, and we're back.
Yeah. It's hard for me to be quiet just for that 10 seconds.
That silence.
It's really hard.
Oh, Sharon Montgomery Anderson saying Grayden has to fight off Lily now. She knows what candy is. I know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Loves candy.
Yeah. So, yeah, you've got to get yours out of her sack. and they say that's all that's left, Lily. Where did it all go?
There's only so much. There's only so much.
Here I am lying to children. That's what I'm going to teach this week. Okay, write it down.
No lying. No lying. But
the candy is gone. Is not a lie.
Exactly.
Dad ate it. May need a different reason.
Well, Yeah. But yeah. Lily's been a bit under the weather this week, so she's starting to feel a little better today, which is good.
Well, I've been dealing, of course, with Stephanie. For those that know Stephanie, she has bipolar, and she has been dealing with a medication change, and it's not been a great month. We seem to. I made the joke earlier. I caught a quick nap this afternoon because it made it so. It seems that only one of us can sleep in our house at one time.
Yeah,
it seems, and so both of us have just been exceptionally tired. She's having some real difficulty with it. So if you happen to be talking to her on social media or something, tell her you're with her and it'll be great. But we also went through surgery with one of our puppies.
Yes.
Right. Which is another strange thing. But both of us are really tired and not doing really well. And the puppy is as playful as you'd ever want. So he goes back for his checkup this Thursday. That's 2 weeks. He gets to take off his what do you call that? Lampshade,
comb protector.
Yeah, because otherwise he'd chew out his stitches, and so, But he's been very comforting to both of us too.
Good. Yes. Beth is asking whether I've done any follow up on the Amazing Race Canada. I have not. I've been too busy, but it's on the list of things.
And usually, I know Will wrote it down too. So using the Railway Museum as a spot on Amazing Race Canada, it's we'll find out.
Absolutely. Yeah. And usually I'll run into the people or whatever in Toronto and they'll be like, oh, hey, what's going on? And then,
and I wanted to thank Will and Scott. They gave us a full show last week and we went on for quite a while afterwards. But to talk about the railway heritage and the railway lands in our community is always exceptionally detailed and a lot of questions from everywhere on them. So I'm happy we had a chance to have them on. We will have them on again as we move forward on the secondary plan or any other news for the museum. And
Danielle Nielsen, too, is someone we should get on again.
I keep saying it. And she's working together with me on some of the housing communications. Because we're doing so much, we're almost moving ahead of our ability to tell people what we've got done.
Yeah.
And that's a shame because I just was signing off some reports before Grayden came in the office tonight on the last 10 years of housing in St. Thomas, what we have accomplished. So we need to have Danielle on. Yeah. She is a shy and always gives credits to her whole team and the rest of the city, but she has been a go-getter and getting so much done in our community. So I say thank you to her in public at council, but now I'll do it here on Mayor's Update. It's great.
Oh, and just to go back to the Kohler Classic too. Yeah. It was really great to actually get out. It was my first time golfing this year and probably my last.
Well, you golfed a lot more last year.
I did. Last year, I seemed to have some extra time.
I never touched my golf clubs except for the putter at the putting contest with
which you won,
which I won. But yes, but I didn't golf at all this year. It is just so much going on. It's tough to take the couple of hours or 4 hours to go in a golf tournament.
Yeah.
So I missed this year. We're not quite done. I don't know. We might still get a couple more in, but I haven't got anything planned, and the golf clubs are at the cottage. So it's really tough. Right?
And a happy birthday to Lily, my daughter. She turned 3.
Yes.
So she may not still be watching. Usually she falls asleep to the Mayor's Update.
Oh no, it's a number sedative.
If you can believe it.
No, I can't believe it. I mean, well, she knows her area is in good hands and good things are happening. So it's time to go sleep.
That's right.
Just let it go, Lily. Okay, everybody be quiet. Quit typing so loud.
No, Adam Montgomery saying, can't wait to see what else is coming into the city between Cobb's, Firehouse Subs, etc.
Yeah, lots.
Lots. So many things.
We continue to grow commercially and industrially, and we've got a number of kind of pent up announcements we're going to get to in the next little while, from a housing, from a industrial, and from a commercial.
Harvest Lunch. That's coming up on
the United Way Harvest Lunch.
September 18th.
Okay, that's in the middle of next week.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, tomorrow is September 11th. And so tomorrow morning we all meet at the Fire Hall for the September 11 Memorial.
Right.
So that's tomorrow morning. Okay, what day of the week is it? What else do we have to do? Right.
Oh, and Jess is saying Jess, my wife, is saying a reminder about back to school last week. Vehicles need to watch for students and school buses.
Yes. Everybody's in such a hurry. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm older. I'm now driving slower. I don't know. I will say if that's the case. But hey, you're going to get there at the same time as you were going to get there, whether you're dangerously passing something or not being as observant as you need to be. Take your time, enjoy life.
Yeah.
Let the kids have a little freedom. They're just off their summer break, so they're still a little anxious. And so be careful to watch for the school buses and certainly pedestrian children.
Yeah.
And adults. Don't hit the adults either. It's okay.
Yeah. Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, yes.
Also,
that was last Friday night.
Friday.
A year ago. Boy, we were all in on that.
Yeah. And tell you what. And this time I was behind the scenes running cameras and audio and stuff. So I'll tell you what, it's a lot more stressful doing that than dancing.
Really?
Yeah, because if you fall when you're dancing, you get all the sympathy in the world.
Oh, no, it's true. Yeah.
You mess up the audio there, and Rita Herbert is going to let you know.
Well, no, that's true. You would, yeah. And you're right. The last year when we were dancing, that wasn't the pressure. I had an idea. We'd practiced enough, and it was going to be what it was going to be. That wasn't the hard part. So I get when it's a technical thing you're trying to work on, it has to be just right.
Yeah, but a shout out to all of those women that put that together: Rita, Kathy, Mary Jane.
Yeah, I don't want to
Mary Ellen.
I don't want to forget them now.
And Barb Green.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Lots of help, lots of great things, and it was a great event.
And Ashley from the Queso and all of her staff, and Will, they did put on an incredible show.
Well, the Queso station and the Railway Museum are busy often now, so it's important.
It's so exciting to see. Great. Hot Rods and Hops was another event they held on the Saturday as well, which is a fundraiser for Lit Up for Brandon.
Yes.
So they turned everything around, bam, did a whole nother thing.
It's amazing how many times there's something tonight, something overnight, and the next day they've got another event, and it gets done.
Yeah.
Right? So,
and speaking of new businesses, Honey Cake Pastry Shop.
Yes, I wanted to mention that because I haven't been down there yet.
Me either.
There's a new pastry shop in town, right?
Yeah.
But I saw that Tara did the kind of their grand opening and recognition from the city. Some great new bakery stuff in town. Right? Boy, that's what I need, more cake.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for the location, it's right where Chick Boss Cake was.
Right.
So it's in that same spot.
Yep.
Julian Rick, hi.
Hi, Julian.
Thanks for joining the show. Food vendors. There's a post on Established Media and also on the Downtown Development Board page about the food vendors for Oktoberfest.
You know where I haven't been yet? No.
Where's that?
It's a Blues Note. Is it?
I haven't been there. Bass Notes.
Bass Notes.
Yeah, got to get there.
There's a new neat adult jazz bar downtown St. Thomas. But here's the sign that I really am old.
Mm-hmm.
I never think of it till I'm already home in my pajamas.
Well, I think they open at 8 or something.
Right. Hey, man, I'm in bed by then.
I know, me too. Or thinking about it very seriously.
Clearly, I'm not getting back up. That would be a better way of putting it, right? You don't want me to go in what I'm wearing at 8 o'clock at night.
So, well, I almost made it there, but I was coming back from the Elmer, the truck and tractor pull, and the group of videographers from Eastlink were walking on the street. I was like, hey, guys, what's going on? And I was like, we should go in there. And they're like, no, we want to go to a party place. We want to go to the back alley.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay.
So
to each their own and their age. Right.
I went there for a drink. We hung out a little bit.
I love the back alley, too. And they do rotate good stuff. But, between cornhole tournaments and other stuff, too. To each their own. But I haven't been in a real adult bar where you have a fine Irish whiskey and listen to jazz music. So I've been wanting to do it, but it's making the time, making the plans to do so.
Yeah, totally. And then, the cornhole tournament. So that's how I was supposed to make it there tomorrow to actually go and take some pictures, but I've got to go to London and do an event there. So
you have an event in London more important than a cornhole tournament in St. Thomas.
They're paying me.
Okay, all right.
I'm making money on
September 11th.
it.
All right.
Yeah, okay, I'm losing my house, so I gotta find a way to pay for it.
I love it.
Orange Shirt Day.
Oh yes, coming up on the 30th of September. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, here at City Hall, and huge. Each year it has grown. So please get your orange shirt and come on out to celebrate. celebrate maybe a wrong word on this.
Reconciliate.
Converse on Orange Shirt Day on the 30th. All right, so that's another one to go into our mix of all the things that we have to talk about every week.
Yes, and there's
so
more.
we never get to new stuff.
We're just going through the library. There's events at the library after as well, and it's highly encouraged.
After the piece here at City Hall, then a number of events happening at the library afterwards.
Yeah, and it's a great way to tie in with the Indigenous community. All right, how are we doing? Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Time to get out of here.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Mayor's Update next week on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We'll see you then, and bring your questions. Lots going on in our community.
So many things. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks to our sponsors. See you next week.
Yep.